I Will Do It, adapted from Sudha Murty G84. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents: 1. I Will Do It. 2. Comprehension. 3. Grammar page. 1. I Will Do It, adapted from Sudha Murty. He was short, unassuming, with a quiet demeanor that could easily blend into a crowd. But beneath his modest exterior burned a fierce intellect, sharp as a blade and quick as lightning. In the small, sleepy town of Mysore, he was the brightest boy in his class, a prodigy in physics and mathematics. Seniors sought him out, not for his presence, but for his mind, his ability to unravel complex problems with ease. His eyes would spark with life at the mere mention of a scientific conundrum, and he grasped theories faster than most could dream. He hailed from a poor but educated family. His father, a high school teacher with a deep love for English literature, instilled in him a reverence for knowledge. Like many boys his age in the early 1960s, his ambition was fixed on securing a spot in an engineering college. The brightest among them, however, set their sights higher, on the prestigious Indian Institutes of Technology, the IITs, gateways to a future of promise and prestige. Admission required passing a grueling entrance exam, a challenge that separated the exceptional from the ordinary. He and his friends applied for the IIT entrance test, driven by dreams but limited by resources. They had no access to special coaching or expensive preparatory books. Instead, they gathered under the shade of a stone mandap near Chamundi Hills, a serene spot overlooking Mysore's tranquil landscape. There, amid the rustle of leaves and the distant hum of the town, they pored over old question papers. He was their guide, the quiet leader who solved problems with a shy smile, while others wrestled with equations. Alone under a tree, he would lose himself in thought, imagining a future at IIT, a dream that felt both tantalizingly close and impossibly distant. At 16, the world seemed full of possibilities, and IIT was the ultimate prize. The day of the entrance exam arrived. He traveled to Bangalore, staying with relatives in a modest home that buzzed with the nervous energy of other aspirants. The test was a marathon of intellect, a crucible for young minds. He tackled it with focus, emerging confident but characteristically understated. When asked how he fared, he offered only a quiet okay, a word that carried layers of meaning in his understated lexicon. For him, okay could mean failure when it came to food, good meant passable, and excellent was reserved for what was merely good. His principle was simple: never hurt anyone with harsh words, even unintentionally. Weeks later, the IIT results were announced. He had not only passed but secured a high rank, a feat that would make any student's heart soar. Elation coursed through him as he rushed to share the news with his father, who was engrossed in his newspaper, a daily ritual of quiet reflection. "Anna, I passed the exam," he said, his voice steady but brimming with pride. His father looked up, his face softening. "Well done, my boy. I want to join IIT." The air grew heavy. His father set the newspaper down, his eyes meeting his son's with a mix of pride and sorrow. "My son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial situation. I have 5 daughters to marry and 3 sons to educate. I am a salaried man. I cannot afford your expenses at IIT. You can stay in Mysore and study as much as you want." The words landed like a blow, though they were spoken with love. For a father to deny his gifted son such an opportunity was a wound to both. In those days, it was common for one breadwinner to shoulder the burden of a large family, and his father was no exception. The reality was stark: the family's resources stretched thin. The boy saw the pain in his father's eyes, the weight of a truth neither could escape. Disappointment crashed over him like a wave. His dream, so vivid and close, crumbled into ashes. He had come so far, only to be stopped by circumstances beyond his control. His heart sank, heavy with sorrow, yet he remained silent. An introvert by nature, he kept his pain locked within, never burdening others with his struggles. He didn't lash out or blame anyone, not his father, not fate. Instead, he absorbed the hurt, letting it settle deep inside. The day his classmates left for IIT was one of the hardest. They were bound for Madras, now Chennai, traveling by train from Mysore. These were his friends, companions through years of shared laughter and late-night study sessions. He went to the station to see them off, a final act of camaraderie. The platform buzzed with excitement, their voices like the chatter of birds, alive with talk of new hostels, new courses, and the bright futures awaiting them. He stood apart, a silent figure amid the noise, his heart heavy with what could have been. One friend noticed his quietness. "You should have made it," he said, his tone a mix of sympathy and regret. He didn't respond. He only smiled, wished them well, and waved as the train pulled away. Their hands fluttered from the windows, growing smaller until they vanished. The platform emptied, but he remained, rooted to the spot. It was June 1962, and the monsoon had arrived in Mysore. Dark clouds gathered, and a light drizzle began to fall, cloaking the city in a somber veil. Yet he stood motionless, raindrops mingling with the weight of his thoughts. In that moment, something shifted. A quiet resolve took root. He spoke to himself, not with anger or envy, but with clarity. All students from the IITs study well and do big things in life, but it is not the institution. Ultimately, it is you and you alone who can change your life by hard work. Perhaps unknowingly, he was echoing the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Your best friend is yourself, and your worst enemy is yourself. The institution, the prestige, the opportunities, they mattered, but they were not the whole story. His path would be different, but he would carve it with his own hands. From that day, he threw himself into his work with unrelenting focus. He enrolled in a local college in Mysore, studying engineering with the same fervor he would have brought to IIT. He didn't dwell on what he had lost or seek shortcuts through caste, community, or political connections. His was a path of integrity, driven by intellect and discipline. Personal comforts took a backseat. His ambition was singular, his resolve unbreakable. Years passed, and his hard work bore fruit. He joined Patni Computer Systems, where he honed his skills and began to see the potential of a nascent industry, software. In 1981, with a small group of like-minded colleagues, he took a leap of faith. With modest savings and a vision far larger than their resources, they founded a company in a tiny apartment in Pune. They called it Infosys. The early days were grueling. Funds were scarce, infrastructure was limited, and India's bureaucratic landscape was a maze of obstacles. Yet he led with a quiet strength, building a team of individuals who shared his commitment to excellence. He believed in values, transparency, fairness, and uncompromising quality. He shared his wealth with his team, fostering loyalty and trust. Together, they turned Infosys into a pioneer of India's software industry, sparking the information technology revolution that would transform the nation's economy. His journey was not just about building a company, it was about proving that success could be achieved ethically. He showed that a son of a schoolteacher, armed with nothing but intellect and determination, could rise to global prominence without compromising his principles. He became a philanthropist, giving back to society with the same generosity he had always shown his colleagues. His life became a testament to his motto, powered by intellect and driven by values. Today, Nagavara Ramarao Narayana Murthy is an icon, not just of business, but of simplicity and integrity. The boy who stood alone on a rainy platform in 1962, watching his dreams slip away, became the man who reshaped India's future. His story is a reminder that while institutions can open doors, it is the individual's resolve that builds empires. Through sheer hard work, he didn't just change his own life, he changed the world. Comprehension questions. Question 1. What was the boy's strongest subjects in school? Question 2. Where did the boy and his friends study for the IIT entrance exam? Question 3. Why couldn't the boy attend IIT despite passing the entrance exam? Question 4. How did the boy react when his father told him he couldn't afford IIT? Question 5. What did the boy do at the train station when his friends left for IIT? Question 6. What realization did the boy have while standing at the train station? Question 7. What philosophy from the Bhagavad Gita did the boy unknowingly follow? Question 8. What company did the boy later help found? Question 9. What values did the boy emphasize in his professional life? Question 10. Who is the boy in the story? Answers. Answer 1. The boy's strongest subjects were physics and mathematics. Answer 2. They studied under the shade of a stone mandap near Chamundi Hills in Mysore. Answer 3. His family couldn't afford their expenses because his father, a salaried teacher, had to support 5 daughters and 3 sons. Answer 4. He remained silent, kept his disappointment to himself, and didn't get angry or blame anyone. Answer 5. He wished his friends well, waved as their train left, and stood motionless on the platform afterward. Answer 6. He realized that it's not the institution, but one's own hard work that changes life. Answer 7. The philosophy that your best friend is yourself, and your worst enemy is yourself. Answer 8. He helped found Infosys. Answer 9. He emphasized transparency, fairness, and uncompromising quality. Answer 10. The boy is Nagavara Ramarao Narayana Murthy. 3 grammar page.